Hello everyone, welcome to the Cinema Analysis channel. I am Juzo. This channel will explore the hidden truths of films that are not usually revealed. Today I would like to talk about the Kirishima Thing. This film is rated as the one that would drive you crazy if you don't talk about it with others. You will not understand its meaning without watching it. I suggest you watch it if you haven't already. So let's get started. This film is based on the novel of the same name by Ryo Asai. The original Japanese title means I Heard Kirishima is Leaving the Club. This is not the kind of work that you would call high concept, and it is not expected to be a hit from the start. It is not a work with a shocking incident, dramatic development, action, mystery. However, this film touches and confuses the hearts of the audience. Audiences who saw the film in cinemas recommended it to others, and the film became an unprecedented long-running hit. A rumor spread that Kirishima, the star volleyball player, is leaving the club. Since then, anxiety has spread among the students around him, and something strange has happened to their relationship. Explaining the plot of this work, that's all. But this film brings something strange to the heart of the audiences. The reason is the thought or idea in this work. The high school student named Kirishima in the title does not appear in the film. It is a work of portraying the students around him who are confused by his absence. Kirishima, as a volleyball player, is everyone's favorite. He goes out with Risa Ida, the most beautiful girl in school. His three male friends wait for him playing basketball while he practices volleyball. They don't belong to the basketball club. They are all good-looking favorites. Risa and her friends Kasu, Mimika, and Sana are all beautiful girls. They are the upper class of what is called the school caste. There is no Japanese word for school caste, but recently the word has been gradually infiltrating Japanese society. It was said that the word began to enter Japan around 2005, but the word was considered to have been born out of the strange value system, particularly in the United States. There seems to be something called school caste in the US. It seemed to be hard to be a student in the United States. Such words were spoken frequently, but thinking it over well, the similar value system exists also in Japan, and the Japanese people later noticed that they are also doing the similar thing. There are those who have and those who don't. Those who are good looking, good at sports, who do extremely well at school are in the upper group. Those who are not are all put in the lower group. This is probably the difference between cool people and nerds in today's world. Such words were cleverly moved in this work, but difference or words were expressed through the performance of the young actors. The Bible says, "Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them." It is Matthew chapter 13, verse 12. This is what happens when a person moves forward in the direction he is facing. Kirishima, the star player who has everything, leaves the volleyball club, and this confuses the upper group, and the influence spreads around them. Even though the rich are supposed to get richer, why does this happen? The one who was most shocked was probably Risa, Kirishima's girlfriend. She always waits for him at school until he finishes his volleyball training. While she was waiting for him, another friend told her that Kirishima was leaving the volleyball club. How badly was her pride hurt? Kirishima had not consulted her about the serious matter of his leaving the club. And Kirishima didn't come to school, and he can't be contacted. People around him demanded her about it. and neither other friends nor other members of the valuable club were told the reason. This makes the people around him even more confused. In the original story, the character describes that the reason Kirishima left the club must have been because other team members couldn't follow Kirishima's serious attitude to volleyball, so Kirishima was isolated. The film emphasizes the unpleasantness of the cool upper group. They classify people according to their attributes based on what they consider to be their values. First year, sorry. Heiyu Volleyball Club. They don't call people by their names unless they value their opponents. The upper group are the people with high social ability. They rule the whole world with their social skills, and there are also ranks among them. Although the four girls, with Lisa in the center, seem to be friendly, they are actually in conflict according to the difference between their values. Lisa, the queen, and Sana, her follower, have no club activities. They put everything into socializing. On the other hand, Kasumi and Mika are enthusiastic about badminton. Although they appreciate sociality, they have another thing they want to do. The reason they form the group is because they are all beautiful. Their heart connection is loose. It will be revealed later in the film. Every member of the upper group is shocked by Kirishima's absence. But Hiroki, Kirishima's best friend, shows a certain understanding. His expression shows that he has given up something from the beginning. He is a good baseball player. He is handsome and his girlfriend is Sana, a beautiful girl. Although Hiroki has everything, his expression shows that he is hopeless in life. He already knows that what is considered the best in the world won't bring him much joy. Having a beautiful girlfriend cannot satisfy him. He can't get excited about baseball and doesn't attend baseball training. He kills time by playing basketball until Kirishima finishes training at the club. His two friends, Tomohiro and Ryuto, are not members of the basketball club either. On the other hand, there are people at the lower part of the hierarchy. Most of them are people who are not good at sports or not good looking. Unlike the cool people, Aya Sawajima, played by Suzuka Ogo, has put all her efforts into the brass band. However, she was a crush on her classmate Hiroki and practices on the roof where she can see the basketball court where Hiroki always plays, hoping that he will notice her. Aya thinks no one knows, but some people do. In the classroom, Sana has noticed. Shiori, the younger member of the brass band, came up to the roof and said something like, "A fabulous girl like you will be liked by all the boys." The film club comes to shoot on the roof, and they asked Aya to move to a place where she is not in the picture. She does not want to leave the place where Hiroki can see her. The negotiation begins. She is the type who has something she wants to do, has a very close to the film club, but she has a conflict between the feeling of love. Maeda puts all his enthusiasm into making films. He is bad at sports and belongs to the group that is looked down upon. He told the advisor of the film club that he wanted to make a zombie film, but was rejected, so he secretly started making the film. Maeda and Kasumi have known each other since junior high school. They used to be close because they both liked films, but the distance between them is growing day by day. Still, he couldn't stop thinking about her. By chance, Maeda sees Kasumi in a cinema where Tetsuo, directed by Shinya Tsukamoto, was playing. It was a revival showing. After the last reel of such a crazy film, they noticed each other. They had an awkward conversation. Maeda asked her, "Which Tarantino film do you like?" This is not an appropriate question for girls. Boys usually don't ask girls such a question. Kasumi replied, "Although I don't remember it well, a lot of people die in it. This is such a pitiful scene." By the way, the latest TV drama written by Kankuro Kudo Shinjuku Yasen Byoin, which means Shinjuku Field Hospital, stars Ai Hashimoto, who played Kasumi in Kirishima. In this TV drama, Ai Hashimoto promised the man to watch the film Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. It was also a revival screening, and the man said to her, "You don't know any of Tarantino films." Then she showed how much she knew about Tarantino's films. She could tell you the name of the video store where Tarantino worked. Although it is just my speculation, Kankuro Kudo must have come up with the theme from seeing Kirishima. Taiga Nakano, who played Fusuke in Kirishima, is one of the leading actors in Shinjuku Field Hospital. Perhaps Kasumi also knew Tarantino well, but if it was known, she might be banished from the upper class of the school cast. That's why she pretended not to know him well. If you watch the film carefully, you can see how clever she is to behave in a complex society. Kasumi went out with Ryuto, who belonged to the same caste, and she cleverly hid it. She wants to avoid a lot of trouble when it is discovered. It will be easy for such a wise girl to hide her maniac tastes. Maeda has a faint hope of getting closer to Kasumi, but he happens to see Kasumi flirting with Ryuto in the classroom. Aya, like Maeda, has experienced heartbreak at the same time, and each of them puts all their energy into what they want to do. On the other hand, there was increasing confusion among the jocks or cool people. There is a difference in values among the cool people, and it is beginning to show. Kirishima is the one who has everything. He could do anything he wanted, from social relationships to volleyball, and he was gone. The conflict between the people who put everything into socializing and the people who have other things they want to do was revealed. The conflict between the group of Risa and Sana and the group of Kasumi and Mika is one of them. Those who have something they want to do have nothing to do with others, so the way they deal with Kirishima's absence is different. There is something like a skirmish. A few days after Kirishima left, Tomohiro, one of his friends, saw a male student jump from the roof of the school. It must be Kirishima. Maeda and the film club go up to the roof to shoot. On the stairs, the student who appears to be Kirishima passes them. He must be Kirishima, because Maeda looked back for a while. His going down the stairs from the roof could mean that Kirishima's jump from the roof was Tomohiro's illusion. The cool people gathered on the roof. Since the student who resembled Kirishima had jumped from the roof, it was better for them to search him on the ground. But those cool people gathered on the roof. It is a completely senseless behavior. They are the kind of people who would do such a thing. Up on the roof, Maeda and the film club were shooting the zombie film. The cool people arrived and started shouting, "Where's Kirishima?" The film club, who was disturbed their shooting, attacked the cool people as zombies. This is the climax of the film. The fact that Maeda and the film club chose a zombie film is an excellent metaphor for the film. The motif that many horror films have in common is that cool people must die. Young men and women are killed one by one. Those who are killed first are those who with lovers. Good-looking people or favorites are the first to be killed. And it is also important that it is a zombie film. How did zombie films come about? The setting of Dawn of the Dead, the second film by George A. Romero, who can be considered the founder of zombie films, is supermarket. The zombies have gathered in the supermarket where the same mass-produced products are lined up. This symbolizes that each individual loses their taste and uniqueness with the arrival of the mass consumer society. Romero considered it a problem to be brainwashed by the barrier created by someone else and created the zombie film. Zombie films were originally made to criticize society. In this film, the zombies attack the cool people. There is the intention of the creators. What the cool people emphasize is the social relationship. It is to interact with others, to determine their ranks, and to create a world in which one compliments and is complimented. In other words, it is a way of living with the desire for approval to motivate oneself. You do something because you want to be approved by others. It has nothing to do with what you really like to do. The reason Kirishima and Risa are dating is not because they love each other. They go out because each of them is at the top of the ranking. They have a sense of worth that going out with lower people will lower their worth. Couples of American football players and cheerleaders might be the same, and a man with a trophy wife. The four beautiful girls are not necessarily friends. They form a group of beautiful girls because being friends with students who are not beautiful lowers their value. Sana's only motivation is to show everyone that she is friends with Risa and goes out with Hiroki. The reason she makes friends is not because she likes them, but to satisfy her need for approval. And Maeda and the film club, or Ayasawa Jima of the brass band, are the ones who have something they want to do. The value for them is self-realization. The definition of self-realization could be different. One that can certainly be said is that it is defined as becoming what you want to be. The idea is to become what you really want to be valued by others, and to be financially successful. It is not uncommon for what you think you want to do to be influenced by the values of society. It is not uncommon for your value system to be dominated by your desire for approval without you realizing it. Even if you think it is self-realization, it is actually a desire for approval. Let's say you free yourself from the need for approval and find what you really want to do. But if it's different from what the world wants you to do, you won't be successful in your self-realization and you won't get wealth or fame. Vincent van Gogh is said to have sold only one painting in his lifetime. There must be a lot of painters who can't sell a painting even after they die. Nevertheless, painting what you really want to paint is self-realization. After the fracas on the roof, Hiroki talks to Maeda. Hiroki asks if he wants to be a film director in the future, and Maeda replies that it will be impossible. Hiroki asks, then why does he make films? Maeda replies that he feels connected to his favorite films when he makes films. Hiroki is shocked when he hears this. The cool people like Hiroki put a lot of emphasis on getting approval from others. They form groups of only good-looking people and do sports. They do it not because they love it. On the other hand, Maeda and people like him do what they like without worrying about getting approval from others, and they seem to enjoy it. No matter how much approval Hiroki gets, he does not enjoy it. And the people who do self-realization that no one else approves of seem to enjoy it. There is a reversal. The people who thought they were winners were going down a path that didn't lead to happiness. The people they thought of as losers got happiness. Hiroki realizes this at the end. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. He realizes that the people they looked down on were the haves, and he and his group were the have-nots. The desire for approval may be the necessary emotion to play a role in society, but it does not make people happy. Self-realization will make you happy, but it is often useless to other people. In fact, many people oscillate between the desire for approval and self-realization. There is only a difference of degree. During the fracas on the roof, Kasumi slapped Sana. This is because her attitude was so terrible. The film club and the Bible club are fighting because they are serious. Sana made fun of it. Unlike Sana, Kasumi is serious about what she wants to do, badminton. And Kasumi has her nerd side. She lives her life hiding it. Hiroki stops in front of the baseball club's training ground, and the film ends. It is not certain whether Hiroki then joins the baseball training, but it is certain that Hiroki has decided to live his life for self-realization, not for the desire for approval. If baseball was precious to him, he will continue it. The conclusion is not that continuing baseball is good in itself. There is no doubt that Hiroki, who can do anything, has decided to live to do what he really wants. The screen then turns white and the title of the film appears in black letters. This white picture on screen is thought to be the expression under the influence of the word white canvas in the original novel. The principal told the student, "You are young, you have power, you can do anything from now on. You are now, in other words, a pure white canvas," a worn art metaphor. In the original novel, Hiroki sees it as a negative thing. I was most afraid of knowing myself who can't do anything even if I do my best. To be honest, when I'm told you are a white pure canvas, it reminds me of myself, who can neither fight nor run. They are written at the end of the original novel. He is afraid that if the picture he draws on the pure white canvas is not something great, he will despair. The reason for the absence of Kirishima or Hiroki seems to be different in the original novel and the film. In the original, it is portrayed that even the strong live with fear and that sometimes it stops them from challenging. Although it is an interpretation of the characters in the story, it is a conclusion of the novel. The reason for Kirishima's absence is completely unknown in the film, but the theme seems to be the meaninglessness of living for the desire for approval. Hiroki always carries his sports bag with him. It is the one used by the high school baseball team. The logo of Shourai is written on it. Shourai means prospect or future in Japanese. It is the fictional brand for the film. Hiroki always carries baseball stuff with him, but he doesn't participate in the club's activities. There is a scene where the team captain tells Hiroki, "Your hair has grown." In Japan, many high school baseball teams force team members to shave their heads. This scene means that Hiroki hasn't been training for a long time, even though he still feels that he wants to play baseball. At the end of the original novel, Hiroki is said to be walking in the opposite direction to the school gate. Presumably, he takes up baseball again. The film leaves the interpretation up to the viewer. The pure white image on the screen seems to hint at a bright future. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up.